almost 7,000 hotel rooms, MGM Grand is not only one of the biggest hotels in Las Vegas, but is one of the largest in the world. It is absolutely massive when you walk around here. But being a large hotel, is that good or is it bad? Well, let's go have a tour of the property so you can see if the MGM Grand is right for you. When you come out of the elevator, you have to figure out where your room is. There are 4 different hallways to take, and you have to figure out based on your room number which one to go down. We were booked into a grand queen room. These rooms are about 450 square feet, so they are a decent size. Now you can book a room here on the weekdays for $59 up to about $200, and on the weekends you can expect to pay anywhere from about $250 to $400, and that can go up just depending on what is going on during the weekend. The rooms are starting to feel dated, and that's one thing that we have noticed as of late. You don't feel like it's a newer room anymore. You're finding a lot of the wear and tear, and that's just going to happen over time. They did recently remodel the studio rooms, but those are only 350 square feet. They are older and they come from the Marina Hotel, which MGM took over and incorporated as part of the MGM Grand property. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend staying there because they are a bit smaller. I would say that these are decent enough rooms, even though they're dated. MGM has one of the largest and best pool complexes in all of Las Vegas. They have several pools, they have whirlpools, and I'm talking about a variety. So you have your family areas, and then you have an adults area. There's a lazy river that goes around, and they also have sort of the party area, which is the day club Wet Republic. There's also several places where you can grab food and drink. Overall, just a great, amazing complex to hang out if you want to have a pool day. Even though the MGM Grand is absolutely massive, we can break it down into a few different sections. So we have the underground right behind me, and we'll take a look at that in a minute, but we also have the central and the district. So we're gonna break up this video into those 3 sections so that you can see what's available in each area. Let's go have a look at the underground. So we'll start this tour of the underground at the back side, the parking garage. This is also where you will find your Uber or rideshare pickup. So from the parking garage, you come into the MGM Grand. Immediately you're gonna see a Subway, and there are a couple little shops. Now then you come to this fork in the road, and either you can go to the hotel or you can go to the monorail. So there are 2 separate entrances to get to the monorail if you want to take the monorail to go to another hotel or another property on the strip. So in this underground area, you're also going to find Haagen-Dazs. And on the right hand side there, this is where you're going to find Tape Face. So if you're looking to see the show Tape Face, this is where you'll come to find that. Now, if you need a recharge because you had a little too much to drink, there's also a place where you can get an IV infusion and get hydrated. But if you want to just get a quick pick-me-up snack, there's the New York pretzel for you. And you keep coming down this way, you'll find a set of restrooms. These are the timeshare people, so stay away from that desk on the right there. Some more shops, Harley Davidson, welcome to Las Vegas type of shop. And then up on the right hand side, you'll see a convenience store. I don't really recommend that you shop here because you're going to pay probably twice as much as you would at just going to an ABC store or CVS, Walgreens. Pyology, you can get a pizza fired up right in front of you. And then there's Fat Tuesday to get your drink. You head up the elevators and you end up right into the lobby. Let's talk about entertainment here at the MGM Grand. Behind me is the Kaw Theater. This is a Cirque du Soleil show. There's also magician David Copperfield, who's had a very long-term residency here at the MGM Grand. Now, Tape Face was one of the contestants on America's Got Talent. He recently moved from one of the Caesars properties over to the MGM and has his show here. There's also high-energy dance group Jabberwockies that has their own little theater area. And there's Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. But that's just the standing type of residencies here. They also have the MGM Grand Garden Arena, and that brings in concerts and sporting events. So as you can see, there is plenty of entertainment at MGM Grand. The Central is by far the largest of all the areas that we were discussing earlier. So the Central is where you're going to find a good chunk of the bars and restaurants. Hakkasan is a Chinese restaurant, but it actually turns into a nightclub at night. And Level Up is pretty close to Hakkasan. This is where you're going to find some games. There's live bands. And speaking of games, there's an arcade area that is right adjacent to the whole bar area. Bonanno's Pizzeria is right across from Level Up. Great grab-and-go slices of pizza. Tap Sports Bar. Stay tuned to the end because we do try that out. And, of course, the sports book. It's pretty large. Now, the buffet, I'd say probably stay away unless you have a buy one, get one from My Vegas or My Konami. And then the casino area. Now, the Central is the only place that you are going to find the casino. It is not in the underground or in the district. So the Central is where the casino action is at. Here is the casino bar. You're gonna find a lot of these little bars, like the sidebar here, sort of spread out all over the place. Whiskey Down is probably one of the cutest bars in all of MGM Grand. It is a really fun and cool place to hang out and get a drink. And of course you have table games and they're sort of spread out everywhere. Very large walkways through the whole entire property. Now this is the lobby bar. Clearly it's right beside the lobby. Across from that is also a Starbucks. You will find pretty good directional signs pretty much anywhere you go. Now Losers Bar, that is right at the entrance before you're going into the district. Wolfgang Puck has a restaurant that is open here right in the middle of the action. And if you're looking for high-end, Joel Robuchon has two restaurants. There is just Joel Robuchon and Atelier by Joel Robuchon. And right next to that, you will find Crush, which has American food. There's also Greek Sneak, obviously Greek food, and Grand Walk, which is a noodle bar. The Avenue Cafe is only open for breakfast and lunch, but it's good hearty food. And here is yet another Starbucks. So there are 3 on property. In a lot of the hotels that we visit, the casino area is sort of confined to one large general area. But at MGM Grand, it's sort of unique because it's spread out between kind of 3 different districts, 3 different areas that have their own slot machines and table games. So you almost feel like you're in a separate little casino area in each one. But one of the things that I will point out if you're coming to MGM Grand is that at nighttime, the casino gets packed. I think because there are almost 7,000 rooms, there are just so many people here, and the casino area just gets really crowded. Making your way through the district, now you're going to find a lot more restaurants and shops. So starting off with Lucchini there on the left, which is an Italian food place. Morimoto is your Japanese food. Now, right next to Lucchini is this new pizza place. It's part of Lucchini, but it's sort of just a grab-and-go slice of pizza. We did have some. It's pretty decent. Now, you are going to find additional shops here, some clothing stores. And as we continue down, you'll find Tom Colicchio's Craft Steak. Now, coming up here on the right, you will find Emerald's New Orleans Fish House, so a seafood restaurant with other options. And on the left-hand side here, this is where you'll have Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. A lot of times they'll have a live singer out here kind of performing before a show. Now this is your food court. So there are a lot of different options at this food court. The Starbucks here, this is where I like to do a mobile order first thing in the morning if I need my coffee. I can get it super quick, even on a busy weekend. So you're gonna find a bar here. You can grab a drink, and additional stores here as well. I wouldn't really recommend taking samples from these girls outside the store because they will try to drag you in and sell you for a lot of money. International Smoke is a barbecue joint that is partially run by Aisha Curry. And for those of you who don't know, that is Steph Curry's wife. So more shopping to be done. There are restrooms there on the right-hand side, a frozen yogurt place that is on the left-hand side, and on the right is where you're going to find that second monorail entrance. And right next to that is Nelly's Southern Kitchen. And now this is a Jonas Brothers endeavor, so it's named after their grandma. And if you have tickets to see a show at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, this is where you're going to head into that show here. So you just continue on and you will see additional shops. There's this Hunger Games exhibit here. And they also have this area where you can preview TV shows that they're testing out. So you can get free tickets up at a little box office area, but see where it says kind of like Showtime and the CW. You can watch some shows here and test out some new or upcoming shows. And as you make your way to the end of the district, this is where you'll find the entrance to the pool, the spa and fitness center, the walkway to Signature MGM, and the walkway to Top Golf. Right in back of MGM Grand is Top Golf. So if you head to the end of the district, you'll see a long hallway that'll lead you over to Top Golf. You'll partially be indoors and then it'll take you outdoors. And when you get over here, this is like a crazy fun driving range. So you can not only hit balls, have your own little section with TVs and couch, but there's also bars, there's a swimming pool, and it's on 4 different levels. So it's just a really fun experience and something different to do in Vegas. The Signature MGM is a separate hotel from MGM Grand, but it's a pretty cool property. There's 3 separate towers, and it's one of the few properties in Las Vegas where you actually can get a balcony room. But if you're wanting to get there from the MGM Grand, you head over to the end of the district and you'll see a sign that says Signature MGM, and it takes you right to this walkway and you can head over to the Signature. Let's talk about the pros and cons of the MGM Grand. So starting with the cons, let's start with the location. You're on the far south end of the strip, so it's not really accessible to a whole lot of hotels and casinos that you can just go casino hopping to. But you do have New York across the street. Right next to that is Excalibur, and then next door to MGM Grand is the Tropicana. But the Tropicana is actually closing for good on April 2nd. We're in February here, so not much time left to visit the Tropicana. Another, probably the biggest con of this property is the massive size of the hotel. So if you have trouble walking, there's a lot of walking to be done here at MGM Grand if you want to get to any restaurant shows, casino area. So if walking's a problem, it's probably not the best place for you. But also probably the most common complaint that we hear is how easy it is to get lost here. Just due to the sheer size of the hotel, everything is kind of spread out. It's bound that you're going to get lost at some point while visiting. Now let's talk about the pros. And probably the biggest pro to the MGM Grand actually is the massive size of it. And that's because this hotel is self-contained. You can spend an entire vacation here in Las Vegas and not leave the MGM Grand and have a great time. Just the sheer number of restaurants and bars you can visit. There are several shows that you can see while you're here. You have your nightlife. There's also the day club over at the pool area. And speaking of a pool area, it's one of the biggest in Las Vegas and one of the nicest. So there's just everything that you can imagine that you would want to do in Las Vegas right here on the MGM Grand property. But if you do want to head out to another hotel, you can just grab the monorail, which is right behind the MGM Grand, and just go to one of the other hotels. So some pros and some cons for you to consider for your trip. We came into Tap Sports Bar. This place is fun. There was a bunch of TVs and memorabilia all over. So we did get some food. I got myself a Tap burger. This was $23. Sort of your standard burger with Thousand Island, tomatoes, lettuce. I ordered it without onion, and I got Swiss cheese on it. Came with fries. I'm gonna try it out real quick for you. So I ordered it medium well. It was cooked to perfection. It's a good burger. Very big burger, as a matter of fact. I'll just try a fry real quick. They're seasoned fries, so it's not just seasoned with salt. There's some sort of seasoning on there. Nice and crunchy. Very good. We also got some chicken wings because, hey, we're in a sports bar. For full disclosure, MGM Grand is probably one of our favorite properties in all of Las Vegas. We've stayed here so many times that we don't mind the walk and we don't get lost anymore coming here. But what do you think about MGM Grand? Have you stayed here before, or are you looking to stay here and watch the video to find out more information? Drop us a comment to let us know what you think. Now, if you're looking for a 5-star luxury hotel, check out this video on the Wynn Las Vegas. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.